Hello, my beautiful people. Hello, my beautiful, beautiful people. I am back, and I am back with some thoughts, guys, and some things that I've been seeing. Do you all think, like I think, that as far as Mexico is concerned, Shanquella's case is actually closed? Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys, because I've been doing some searching around and I actually did a video from Nancy Grace that included the interview of a gentleman named Irv Brandt, who is U.S. Marshal, Senior U.S. Marshal for International Affairs Investigator. Now, I also found some stuff that says that as far as Mexico is concerned, Shanquella's case has been closed for quite some time. Actually, they're saying it's been closed since back in November. I find that questionable, but I'm still doing my research, guys, but I want to just give you what I already know. In Nancy Grace's interview with Irv Brandt, he basically said that Mexico has gone as far as he thinks they're going to go, because the treaty between the United States and Mexico does not include a charge of femicide. Mr. Brandt actually is saying that Mexico is going to have to go back and reissue a warrant and change the femicide charge back over to something like homicide or murder or something that falls under the treaty. He says in the treaty there are specific charges that they act on as far as extradition is concerned. And also he says that because this was not a Mexican citizen, Shanquella was not, or wasn't done by any Mexican citizens, and is basically a U.S. citizen that committed a crime on a U.S. citizen, that they are going to wash their hands to it. And that's almost believable, guys, because why would you go out of your way to try to drag somebody back and try them for that tragedy, because it's going to be a cost that's involved, and you know they're saying that Mexico don't have a lot of money. I don't know. I don't live in Mexico. And it's going to be costly to file paperwork and that sort of stuff. You're going to need probably prosecutors or attorneys or something from the Mexican side to do this and to reissue and rename the charge that they have to match something under the treaty. And it's like asking a whole lot for something that they probably have washed their hands to. And this is just my own thoughts, guys. This is something that they probably have washed their hands to and don't want to be bothered with anymore. Now, I have found something that looks official. I'm not sure if this is the actual treaty or not, but it reads criminal prosecutions under Article 4 of the Mexican Federal Penal Code. So I'm going through it, and it has up here the Attorney General of Texas, Greg Abbott, who is now the governor of Texas. But what it's saying is kind of interesting, guys. One spot says, and I'm going to go through this, and I think I may just do a video on this. One place says, extradition of United States citizens versus Mexican citizens. The United States and Mexico signed an extradition treaty on May 4th, 1978, that provides for the return of those who have committed crimes and fled across the United States-Mexican border. In every case presented for review by the Office of Attorney General, the option of extradition is considered. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting. However, Like most extradition agreements, the treaty between the U.S. and Mexico does not obligate either party to hand over its own nationals. In recent years, extradition of Mexico nationals to face trial in the United States have been the exception rather than the norm. Thus, if it is determined that a subject is a citizen of the country, an Article 4 prosecution is generally the best way to proceed. But if the suspect is indeed an American citizen, in most cases an extradition request will be honored by Mexico. The extradition process is useful for securing the return of an American suspect to the United States at the United States' request if the individual is wanted for committing a crime in U.S. territory. So that's telling us the opposite of what went on. It's telling us that if a United States citizen commits a crime and leaves the United States and goes to Mexico, that the U.S. can request extradition from Mexico of their own citizen and have Mexico return their own citizen back to the United States for the United States to have a trial for their own citizen. That's not the case with the story about Shanquella. But it goes on to read, guys, Mexican law requires that an arresting authority in Mexico surrenders any suspect to the federal judicial police within 24 hours of his or her arrest. Once a suspect is in custody, the Mexican federal prosecutor either rejects or files the complaint with the federal court. The federal court then has 72 hours to determine whether the complaint has merit. This is a total of 96 hours, including weekends and Mexican holidays, between arrest and either the release of the fugitive or the acceptance of the complaint for prosecution. It is therefore imperative that a prosecutor submit a complete case file along with the request for an Article 4 prosecution. Okay, let's go back, guys. They're saying that the suspect has to be returned to the federal police within 24 hours of his or her arrest. Okay, 24 hours after that happened, the CABO 6 were there in Mexico. And then it says, once the suspect is in custody, the Mexican federal prosecutor either rejects or files the complaint to the federal court, and the federal court has 72 hours to determine whether the complaint has merit. Okay, so I'm understanding this as they had a total of 96 hours in order. The United States had a total of 96 hours in order to return them, the CABO 6, to the Mexican officials. And I have been looking so many places and doing so much research, guys, that I'm not exactly sure where I saw it at that said that Shanquella's case was actually closed in November. So if it was closed in November, yes, the incident happened on October the 29th. If they had 96 hours, then yes. If they were not turned back over to the Mexican officials in 96 hours, then the Mexican officials really don't have to do anything from what I am reading here. Somebody can read it and correct me if I'm wrong. And this may explain why they are dragging their feet down there in Mexico to try and have them, the CABO 6, returned back down there to them, because from what I'm reading, guys, it seems like after the 96 hours, they are really no longer responsible for pursuing the CABO 6. So guys, I'm gonna go through this piece by piece. It's gonna take me a day or two because it's kind of long, but I'm gonna go through this piece by piece and see if I can contact some legal counsel, or at least somebody who has some type of knowledge of this, that we can go through this together and figure out how it relates to the Shanquella case. Because I want to know if they have closed this case. We want to know, so we can take steps to try to see if there's any way possible that we can legally get it reopened and legally start extradition process. Her family was in Charlotte over the weekend, and they had letters that they had written. I wrote one myself and received confirmation that they had received it, to try and push the Mexican officials into trying to pursue extradition of the CABO 6. But guys, if a ball has been dropped, not sure who may have dropped it, if it was the U.S. who dropped it by not presenting them within 96 hours, or if the Mexican officials dropped the ball, or just threw the ball away because they did not receive them within 96 hours. But I'm going to come back at you guys later with another video about this, because we are seeking justice for Shanquella. That's what we want. And that's all we want. We want justice for this beautiful angel, because she did not deserve what happened to her. And I'm going to go through this and see what I can come up with. Take my notes. I'm going to take my time and do it, guys. And I'll be back at you with my update as soon as I can get through this, and as soon as I can get in some conversation with somebody. Thank you guys for coming. Let's keep her name out there. Justice for Shanquella. May she rest in peace, guys. And I'd like to say thank you for coming. Thank you for your support, because you guys have been really, really good, and you've been hanging in there with me, and I appreciate it. Now guys, go on and do me that favor. I'm working up on trying to come up with 1,000 subscribers, and I'm almost there. And it's like once I got close, then things started slowing down. But guys, let's get justice for Shanquella. Go on and hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to come back with some more updates on this that I have found. So go on and hit that subscribe button for me. If you like my video, tap on the like button. If you want to get these notifications immediately, tap on the notification bell. And I know that can be bothersome, but I think that Shanquella would be worth being notified. So if you want the updates immediately, tap on that notification bell and leave me a comment in the comment section telling me how you feel about this, guys. Thank you for your support. You are great. Smooches to you guys. Much love and smooches. Mwah.